All right, it says I'm live, but see, this is what I don't get. The new Streamlabs that I'm on, I think you can hear me. Yeah, I think you can hear me. 23 seconds, the Streamlabs. I'm just going to get rid of that. It isn't popping up on my YouTube channel. So let me go back, see if I'm live. I think I'm live. Yes, I am live. And this everybody should have been notified. Yeah. Everybody should have been notified. I wonder who's going to be in here first. Is it going to be Cajun Randy? Is it going to be Ellie? Maybe, maybe not. It's already a minute in and I have nobody in here. I wonder why. Maybe because I changed my YouTube stream settings. I don't know. I need somebody in here to tell me. So somebody tell me if my stream setting is okay. Sergeant Chucko Semper Fi, brother. Hoorah. How am I sounding out there, Sergeant Chucko? And did you get a notification that I was on? Well, anyhow, I know I'm working because Sergeant Chucko's on here. From New Jersey, the Jersey man. Okay, good. Well, then we're going to get the show started. As always, the Bunkhole Show, number 54, is brought to you by the Big Light Boys. Yeah. Shocking, isn't it? You hear that heartbeat going? That heartbeat's there.
Friday night. Don't mind my one finger. Ooh, that one finger is freaking me out. Happy Friday night, everybody. Sorry to give you all the freaky finger right
there
off
we
the
go.
bat.
What freaky finger? Freaky finger? What
No,
freaky
really,
finger?
I decided to play my twanger differently. And it started out like...
Oh, the freaky finger.
We know the freaky finger, don't we?
There's no reason for that finger to do all that.
No reason
I
whatsoever.
was just doing it.
Of course, on the other hand, there's no reason for it not to do it.
Was the other hand.
Well, there you go.
And there's that.
That was your first mistake.
That's right. That's the Bakelite Boys. How are you doing? Peg's Place. Did everybody get a notification? Did anybody get a notification, or are you just perusing the YouTube? I changed a lot of my settings. A peg said I got a thumbs up. Okay, I changed all my YouTube settings, but my streaming settings. Trucker, you're still laughing at that. What's so funny about that? Wait a second. Hold on. Just one cotton picking second. Where's it at? Trucker, are you laughing? I think that you're a bootlicker. So we have a new bootlicker detector. I got to sit back on this one. I think that Peg, I know it isn't Peg's place. I know Peg's place isn't a bootlicker. So I detect a bootlicker, so. Ooh. It's not me. Oh no. Oh no, trucker, do you have bootlicker on you? Oh no, trucker. I mean, we will disinfect you from all that bootlicker if you have any on you at all. Oh, I did make that comment on live stream against the bootlicker, but I'm not calling you a bootlicker, but I don't know you do. Hey, why am I like that? Hey, playing that jug. Hey, there's only two of a kind. This is two of a kind. I made this one. And I made another one, and it's way on the West Coast, and it was for a young lady named Kamira. I made her a really nice one with the leather belt, some lace, white lace. I'm sorry, I black belt, white lace, and pearl inlets. I made one small lady size for her. Little bell. I figured I'd show you that for once. I didn't necessarily ever show you that. Maybe once or twice, but you didn't see it. I got a couple things to talk about. Well, one thing here in the living room. I'd like to welcome everybody. Welcome to the Bunkhole, 300 feet deep, safe from any NSA eavesdropping. I am secure in the fact that the FBI have no prying eyes on me. No, they have no clue where I'm at. I'm in the abandoned coal mines of West Virginia. No, don't take offense, trucker. Do not take offense. We got to make sure in the bunk hole where we're sitting, who's sitting next to us, right and left. That's why I have the bootlicker, the new improved bootlicker detector. You'll see whenever we completely disinfect you, if you have any disinfection on you or infection on you, you'll be good, and you'll see that we all see that this is a vital tool here in the bunkhole. So here, let me put this up. I got to put this up over here first. This is amazing. Okay. Okay. So, of any place that I could discuss, I guess it isn't even politics, but it is politics. It's blackmail. It's a whole host of things. But if there's any place I could discuss These sorts of things, it's here in the Bunkhole living room. You know, I feel really.
Fuck yeah! That's enough! That's enough! That's enough!
What the hell was that? What the hell? Uh-oh. What is going on? Uh-oh. Something's happening. Do you... oh, not the light. Not the light. It's getting really... Something is happening. The police lights me. Are they chasing me? No, they're not chasing. Something's happening. Not the strobe. The strobe even makes it worse. There's something happening. Trucker, what the fuck did you bring in here? See what Trucker did? The warning. No, not the warning. It's even worse than I thought. Don't bring in the light pole. The light, the Raging Candy, the Raging Cajun Randy, the light pole of death. Okay, shut it off. Shut it off. Shut it. Shh, 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 shh. Whew. That was a little bit too much, wasn't it? What's happening? What's going on? I don't know what's happening. Let's get the fuck out of here. No, I mean, for real, we've got to find out what the fuck is happening. Get the fuck out of here. Jeez, it's really important. We don't have time to be fucking around here. We have got to go to PP 13. Oh no, not PP 13. The most disgusting place on the planet. Trucker, step over that piece of... Oh, yes, watch that puddle. Trucker. You stepped right in it, Trucker. I told you. Oh, good job, Raging Cajun Randy. You stepped over that like a champ. What the fuck is happening over here in PP-13? The most disgusting police department in the country. Let's find out what's happening. Because all them things went on and on and on and on and on. Uh-oh. What, there's no audio? Now, I want to know which deputy did this. This is why we come to PP-13. Yeah. Running the tin can. Stop it. Would you stop that? I'm tired of hearing your bullshit. This is a state trooper. This isn't a sheriff deputy. Yeah, keep it going. Rattle. What are you going to do about it? Uh-huh. Yeah. What are you going to do about it? Yeah. Stop bringing them handcuffs off that rail, would you? Would you stop bringing that tin cup off the bars? Stop resisting. Would you just... Jeez, would you just... Buddy, I'm trying to help you. Buddy, just listen to my commands and everything will be all right. Would you just get your hands... Buddy, you're going to make this more difficult than it has to be. I'm going to have to tase you. That's all there, just tase. Okay, now you're compliant. I'm going to tase your ass. But buddy, would you just, pal, but okay. All right. You brought this on yourself. I'm going to put a knee right in the back of your neck. That's right. I am going to put my knee right in the back of your neck right now. Give me your hand and stop resisting. Don't worry about my gun that you can reach over there and grab. No. Officer safety, you can grab that gun right off my... But I'm not going to let you do that. No. You're going to comply one way or the other, buddy. Would you just... I'm going to... Yeah, I'm going to have to fuck you up in a minute. Yeah, okay. Here we go. You brought this upon yourself, buddy. All right. What? What? Wait. I don't understand why he did the handcuff, walked out of the room. But anyhow, here we are. I was tired. I got tired, so I had to go out and get a water break. So now I'm back. I'm back. I'm refreshed, hydrated. Yeah. Wait. There you go. Oh my. Yeah, that's playing fair. I just wish you would comply. It didn't have to go this way. Give me your other hand. It's like, do I constantly have to come in here to try to get you to give me your hand? I understand the other one's locked up. Your hand is already locked up, but I want that other fucking hand. Give me your other fucking hand, or I'm going to fuck you up. Would you give me your hand? Stop resisting. All right, we're going to fast forward mode now. There you go. See how easy that was? Now you're fighting again. Round 4. Ding, 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 ding. In this corner, it's the state trooper. And in that corner, it's the shackled man that gives a good fight. Oh, he throws a knee in there just for good measures. Oh, that's a dirty trick right there, folks. He's doing the old pulling the shirt over the head trick, and it's effective. It's effective up to, oh yes, give him another knee. That's right. Yes, he's really going into it now. Give me that hand. Yes, folks. I think that we have a wiener here. We have a wiener. Yes, we definitely have a wiener. Give me your hand, buddy. Would you just stop? I'm getting tired of this bullshit. Oh, no, that's unfair. What are you going to hit the ref? Throw the ref out the rink next? The jail cell next? Tired. Georgia Accountability Patrol. No, that's not terrible. That's in the rink. This is full contact, punish the prisoner sport. Okay, time to take another sip of water. All right, are we going to get up yet? Are we done with this yet? Sir, get up and stop resisting. No, see, you are, sir. Sir, would you, I told you to stop rattling them handcuffs on that rail. Now, this is the 5th time I've had to come in here because you've been disorderly. You've been mean to me. So we're going to do it my way. And would you just please stop resisting that chicken wing? I mean, just stop resisting the chicken wing. Let's just do it this way. Okay? Let's just strap you right there. All right. There you go. Now, was that hard? Did you have to make it that difficult? No, come on, buddy. Okay, here we go. What's going on now? Is he going to beat him some more? Is he going to knee him? What's the reason? What's going on? And this is only moments after. Oh, my. To protect and serve state trooper. of the Year. State Trooper of the Year. Yeah. Officer safety. Officer safety. Yeah. No, I told you, son. If you wouldn't have thrown your flip-flops at me and rattled that fucking bar with them handcuffs, I would have been nicer to you. No, now you just see what's going on and what's happening. Why don't you just pull me by my fingers? I'll pull you by the fingers. Get your fucking ass up. Wasn't that fun? And that was the emergency? Of course it was an emergency. That dude was rattling it and talking back. Talking back to him. It is. How on Peg's Place, it is unreal how some people treat somebody. So I don't even know if who all's in here. Let's go down the list. Peg's Place, Georgia Accountability Patrol, Trucker. See, Line 1 and all of them, Sergeant Choco, Line 1 and all of them are always here, but they never get my notification. So, I don't know if they're going to show up, but I hope they do. Line 1 and HPR and a couple other people. But I'm glad that you all are here, all 8 viewers. And I changed my OBS settings, so if I'm looking pretty good, me and Johnny, look at Johnny go. All right, here we go. For the next, we're done with PP13. We solved the problem. We know what happened. We are now going to, because I need it. After that, I need it bad. We are going to the horticulture room. That's the my favorite place. Well, other than, well, it is my favorite place. It is my favorite place because Puff Dog grows all of my produce. I could not live down here. Chuck Derby, good to see you, brother. I could not live down here 300 feet deep without some support. Hey, Puff. Hey, Puff Dog. Hey, Puff Dog. How you doing, man? Hi, Puff. That's my world famous horticulturalist. My world famous horticulturalist, Puff Dog, supplies all of my needs down here. Fruits, vegetables, tomatoes. Look at the freaking pineapples, man. Yes, he grows so much stuff for me down here. It's floating in the air. Puff Dog, I can't do it without you. He does it for room and board, Puff does. Right, Puff? Hell yeah, Puff. That's right, Puff Dog. I mean, there can never be enough fruits and vegetables to feed this belly right here. Fruits and vegetables, remember. All right. So after watching that beat down in the jail from the state trooper, I'm going to just need to reach. I'll go up high this time. I'll go up. I'll just need to reach back there. Pluck one. Woo! Woo-wee! Puff Dog, man, dude! What the fuck are you doing to... What the fuck are you doing to this shit, Puff? Wow, it just keeps on getting better and better. Whew. Where can I put this? Okay, it is Peg's Place. Did somebody say Peg's Place? It is 420 in Peg's Place all the time. So all I can say is, if you got it, smoke it. If you drink it. Oh, Puff. Oh, my goodness gracious, Puff.
Will you stop with that?
Oh, Puff. Puff, man. Killer, man. Killer. Wow. Okay. I'm going to have to go behind the curtain again. Ooh. 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 Hey, if you don't do that, if you don't do anything, if you don't drink, if you don't smoke, because you need to when you watch my show, it's just so fucked up sometimes. You never know what you're going to get. That ain't exactly the way it goes, but, you know, if you don't do any of the substances just to cool the mind, would you want to have a bite of banana? Does anybody want to bite the banana while we are enjoying ours? Huh? Chuck Derby, banana, just bite the tip of it. Just the tip of it. Go ahead. I mean, if you really want the really good stuff, just take a lump out of the eyeball. Yes, believe it or not, it's the best part of the banana. That's another Puff. Right? See, Puff created that strain of banana right there. Puff, thanks. Puff, thanks for this strain of banana. I don't know what it's called, but googly-eyed banana or something. I don't know. No, Peg's Place, it is 420 there. I don't want to hear it. Dr. Sean Barry, good to see you, brother. Could this be another bootlicker? I don't know. Let's find out. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, it's lighting up. Dr. Sean Barry. Doctor, doctor, you got, doctor. You got bootlicker on you. We'll de-bootlickify you, though. If you have any little bit of bootlicker on you, we are going to, see, trucker, it wasn't you after all. It was Dr. Sean Barry. He's the bootlicker. Boots are poison. See, now you're getting it. You're starting to get de-bootlickified. That's how quick it works, folks. That's how quick it works. Okay, one more break. Right? Peg's Place. Yeah, I got a toothache. Man, I got a toothache. It's right back here. It's my last one. My last tooth right there, back there. Whew, it hurts like a son bitch. All right. We needed that because we're going to go to the. All right, here we go. We are going to go to the law library. Another one of my favorite places to be in the whole wide world, the law library. Yeah. That way a little bit. Yeah, the law library. This is one of my favorite places too. Okay, and light this up. Peg's Place says, coffee is my starter Sunday morning here in Australia. Is it Sunday? Oh, I didn't realize it was Sunday. That's how it works down here in the bunkhole. I have no idea. Time passes. But I keep abreast of current events. Yes, I do. And let me tell you something. I'm going to start off this segment of the law library, not necessarily law, but current events. Creole, good to see you. Yes, you are getting much better at catching me somewhat close at the beginning. You didn't miss much. You didn't miss much at all. I'm about ready to get into the meat of the subject matter at hand. And that would be the Ukraine. What? The Ukraine? Well, why would I want to talk about the Ukraine? Can anybody tell me why I would like to talk? It isn't what you think, maybe. Maybe you think I'm all, oh my goodness, Vlad is taking over the Ukraine. Oh no, who would have ever thought? Terrifying. Run, little people, run. When in reality, our government and our military have been over in the Ukraine since they separated from the Soviet Union. We have been training their police in military style tactics. I documented this in one of my shows months ago. How our military is training the Ukrainian army on how to police and military tactics. Because the police just couldn't dump it on us here. The government, put it that way, couldn't just dump it on us here. They had to test it over there to that free democracy, pristine, no corruption whatsoever in the Ukraine after they separated from Russia, the Soviet Union. Blonde Justice, how are you? There was no corruption in the Ukraine, Hunter Biden. There was no corruption in the Ukraine during Obama, Crimea taken. There was nothing amiss about Vladimir Putin and the Ukraine during any other administration except for Obama. I mean, Vladimir Putin is a despot, and he's been to Putin, Russia, all through the Trump administration. You would have thought they impeached a man over the Ukraine. From a phone call to the Ukraine, the President Donald Orange Man Trump, they impeached him for a phone call to the Ukraine. Do you remember that? I do. Do you? Does anybody remember the two impeachments of Donald Trump? Not getting one way or the other. I'm not saying I'm for or against. It doesn't fucking matter if you really think about it. Blind Justice, good to see you. Grunk Truck. Sorry. Welcome, Grunk Truck. And the only reason why I'm doing this in my law library is because if you understand that whole entire area, Georgia, the Ukraine, Czechoslovakia, Yugoslavia, Hungary areas, Slovakia, Turkey, the Fertile Crescent from Mesopotamia, from Babylon and Iraq, all the way around down to Lebanon and all of that. Guess what? For over 5,000 years, hundreds, if not thousands of despots, dictators, kings, queens, emperors, Alexander the Great, rolled through Georgia and them people and put them people. These motherfuckers have been killing each other over there for thousands of fucking years. It's like a tidal wave. Back and forth and back and forth. It never fucking stops over there. Them people are fucking crazy over there. Have we not, as Americans, learned this by now? But no, the news media and the propaganda to suppress Hunter Biden, to suppress certain things. and tell us other things like this. They say to us, the mainstream media, and this cracks me the fuck up. As a matter of fact, it doesn't only crack me up, it makes me cringe. And I know Blonde Justice, veteran, and I know a lot of you people are veterans. And even if you're not highly trained in the elites of the special ops, you're going to understand how wrong the reporting of this whole entire thing is. This is all part of the Great Reset. They have created another crisis that they cannot waste. Never let a crisis go to waste. Okay. You understand Saul Alinsky? Okay. So I'm watching Fox News, and the puppies, the ladies, the big-lipped, puckered-lipped, makeup all over their face, long neck, stiletto-wearing ladies know how to play-by-play war. Oh, yes. The ladies, Harris Faulkner, are going to tell us how war is fought. Yes. The ladies are all wise, and they ask the best questions on war. Whereas you have people like Pete and Bongino and all of that are looking at the little girls and saying, man, what a stupid question, but they can't say that. Okay, so my point being, and this isn't just the females, all them guys on Fox are pussyfoot, except for maybe Tucker Carlson, only because he owns the Daily Caller. But anyhow. So I'm watching this, and I hear one of the puppies say that a grandma is being handed an AK-47. And I hear the government is asking people to come down to the recruiting center, to the police department, to the church, to come and get your AK-47, come and get it. Come and get your AK-47 right here. Come and get it. Free AK-47s. Come and get it. You know, they're fucking out there calling, right? Yeah, go granny. Okay, so they're out there calling for every man, woman, and child to come defend the Ukraine. Krasik. What the fuck you doing here? Talking about Bubba Army. No, I'm just kidding. Good to see you, Krasik. Okay. So I'm thinking to myself, we've been there for 30 years as the United States. They've been free for 30 years, right? And Russia is right above them, and Vladimir Putin has been in control for a very long time. You didn't plan for this? You now need to arm your citizenry, grandmas? Okay. Here we go. And this is sickening. The article in the Mirror says great grandma of 79 gets training with an AK-47 in Ukraine as Russian forces mount. Come on, 79 years old. Let's see her. You want to see? You want to see her? Okay, wait. Another granny! Oh, gun-toting granny, ready to fight Russian-backed rebels in the Ukraine. Look at that badass girl. Look at the military equipment that she's wearing. Where is she keeping her fucking extra ammo? In her front pockets? I mean, are they not only giving out weapons? Are they giving out anything else like fucking helmets? Maybe a canteen cup, maybe. Are you going to give me a canteen cup whenever I come over to that motherfucker and pick up this weapon? No canteen cup? No, just a weapon? No ammo belt? Wait, let's go back to the other granny. Oh, no, let's do this. Let's find out who is in the Army, or they're recruiting. Look at her. Isn't she beautiful? I mean, at least she got some khaki gear and some camouflage on, right? And she's a young woman. I mean, I think that she can handle that AK with the folding stock, right? Still a very heavy weapon, considering it has to be. I do believe the last time I remember, it's at least 3 or 4 pounds heavier than an AR, right? Even with the folding grip or a stock. Yes. Okay, let's see who else is here. Let's looky here. Look, do you think that this woman is, look at the snow. Do you think that she's capable of surviving in a foxhole? Good citizen. Do you think that this woman is good enough to resist in a foxhole? She looks like she's prepared. He looks like he's prepared a little bit. At least he got a field jacket on with the hoodie. She got a gray jacket on. Look at her. Again, a very heavy. That looks like an SKS. Might be an AK. Looks like it's plastic-ish, I guess. I mean, SKS isn't plastic. It's heavy too, wood. But let's find out who else they have fighting for them. Who they're handing weapons to. Let's find out who's going to defeat the Russian Argonaut of 150,000 troops of men that are heavily armored, field ready, supply lines out the wazoo. Let's find out who they're having come fight for them. There she is. Isn't she so beautiful? Here, little girl, go out and shoot this gun. Again, a very heavy gun. And look how she has it tucked under her armpit. Look, that gun is going to come up and smack her in the fucking nose and it's going to knock her out. They ain't going to have to shoot her. Look how she's holding the gun. And it ain't a gun, it's a rifle. I'm sorry. Does anybody want to comment on that picture? Does anybody want to respond to that? What's going to happen to that woman whenever she pulls that trigger? This isn't an AR. This isn't an AR. AR has a much better buffering system to absorb that round. Plus, it's a very much smaller round than a 7.62. And again, at least you got some camouflage on. Okay, let's find out who else they're training. Yes, look at her go. That's Grandma. Grandma, look. She got camouflage around her neck. It's green. That night she's dead, Grunk. That's Grunt's truck. That's exactly right. Go out and shoot you a Russian or two. See, that doesn't even, okay, that doesn't even take into consideration the people in the Ukraine that actually want Vlad to take over. And the mainstream media boopies with their big lips and their long legs and their long eyelashes and fingernails, and they're such perfect critiquers of war. They love to see Grandma with a weapon. You badass bitch. I look at it like, dude, why would you put a grandma up against something like that to get slaughtered? That grandma doesn't have a fucking chance, you stupid fucking cunts. On Fox News. And Fox News in general. Even the men. You fucking stupid cunts. That woman right there. And let's keep on going. There she is again. Look at her. Isn't she just such a sexy grandma? Hold on. This will get the job done. Oh, yes. Of course, we've all seen the fake AK-47s made out of wood, right? You can see it right in the background there. The white silhouette looking rifles. Well, if you don't have one, just pick up a log. That's right. Just pick up a log and go to it. That will definitely get you trained. And look, he looks like a pussyfied man, too. He ain't an alpha male, I can guarantee it. This is a fucking alpha male right there. That's an alpha male. That right there is an alpha male. Just pick up a log. Look, and what you have to do is have to pick up a log. You have to pick up a log with a little nub on the end of it, like, so that, a little nub on the end of it, so that a little tree nub, at the end, so that it looks like the front and rear sight. Pick up a log with the front and rear sight on it, for goodness gracious. He doesn't even have a front sight on that motherfucking log. Okay, let's see who else they have fighting. Yes! Just hand yourself a fake, of course, you see over here. There's Grandma. And then just hand your kid a fake. I mean, this kid can't be more than 5 or 6 years old. Hand him a silhouetted fake AK-47 and send him out there. At least he is dressed for winter. God, I'm slow. This is slow. Showing people people being told to go to their slaughter is slow. Well, hey, sorry, Krazik. Okay. Now, this one right here is awesome. At least this has some video for you, Kraziks.
Давай. Все, поставил. Вставляется бойок. Вот, бачишь? Вот так вставляется. Давай, пробуй. Сильніше. Під кутом. Оце зубчик попав, все. Молодець. Все, молодець. Пост. Для зручності, я показую, для зручності краще упирати дуло. Просто як цього, ніколи дуло не вперед, просто піднімаєш.
Від себе до себе, пружина.
Що там? Тягни затворну рамку. Все. Тепер бойок будеш. Все, опускаєш.
Hey,
Вгору.
at least
Контрольний
we
спуск.
aren't racist here. Little black boy. Yes. We're not racist in the Ukraine. Hell no. We are not racist at all. We throw all of our children and elderly women to slaughter. Every one of them. Just line them up with their sticks and their fake AK-47s and their galoshes. Put them on the school bus. Yes, line the school buses up. Line the school buses up and just ship them to the front line. They'll get the job done. Whatever happened to, or like the Titanic? Whatever happened to like the thought process of the Titanic, like women and children first? No, fuck the women and children. Toss them fucking people overboard because they're easy to toss overboard, and we are going to take the lifeboats. As a matter of fact, if that's the way we're going to do it, I'll just kill every one of you in that lifeboat that's a woman and children because I'm a man. And I would really literally if I wanted that fucking boat, I would take every one of you, a woman and child, and most men, and I would toss you to fuck overboard. and I'd lower myself down and I'd be free. If that's the way it went. But that isn't the way it goes. It shouldn't. And isn't there the last time I remember in history? Okay, here's a quiz. Can we remember the last time in history in a major war that they handed their children weapons to defend the Capitol? Can anybody tell me in the major conflict, and I can't even remember how long, did the other than this one, use their young children, specifically boys, to defend the Capitol in the end? Anybody? No, I'm not talking about. Strapping bombs onto your children. I'm talking about telling the group of your remaining children to go out there, hand them a gun, and to defend the Capitol. I ain't talking about terrorism. Of course, them people do that. But it's not a full-blown attack like a frontal or a defense of line. Grunge truck. There you go. It's just the same as the Nazis handing their little boys guns to protect themselves against the Soviets. Because I'm telling you, they did not like the Soviets advancing as quick as they did. They wanted the Americans to capture Berlin first. Believe me, you. Is there not something saying that you don't defend your capital with a wall of women and children? That's what this son of a bitch and fucking president, whoever the fuck the dickhead is, he kind of reminds me of Trudeau. Pussified man. Former comedian. He's putting them women and children out there to defend the Capitol. Why ain't he out there? He's tucked away somewhere, isn't he? Enemy number one, he's calling himself. Now, let's break it down for real. Didn't Hunter Biden spend 10 years in the Ukraine dealing in oil? Didn't Hunter Biden say on his laptop that, hey, I'm tired of these Russian whores stealing my laptops? I saw it while he was naked, smoking crack. And you wonder why Joe Biden is, Hunter Biden, I can guarantee that there is video of Hunter Biden with a string of anal beads hanging out of his butt. Can guarantee it. And guess who has all of that info? Because Russia and the Ukraine are one. They always have been. This has just been a facade. They were going to come together anyhow. Could you imagine if Zelensky or whatever the fuck his name is got together with good old Vlad and said, yeah, okay, let's do it. But let's make it look like this. Who knows? But I don't give a fuck. That thing that I give a fuck about is explaining why we are doing what we are doing. There are 2 laptops out there with a whole bunch of shit, and I can guarantee Hunter Biden, who spent his daddy's money while he was vice president. This was while he was vice president. Hunter was in Ukraine. And they talk about Trump getting peed on by whores in Moscow. Really? Russia, remember? The dossier, remember? Trump was an agent Saul Alinsky always says, blame your enemy for exactly what you do or you are. Classic, man. Classic. Joe Biden was put in charge of the Ukraine as vice president. Really? So here Joe Biden is in charge of the Ukraine as vice president years ago, before Trump. Not too long ago. At the same time, his son is making millions and millions and millions of dollars from oil oligarchs. Him and the whole entire Biden organization are tied to the Ukrainians and their oligarchs. But the children and the women, it's so much bigger. And it's simple. Okay, I'm done with that. I think that I've covered everything when it comes to the Ukraine. I'm in the law library for a reason. It's because of this guy.
Yeah, I just came in, to use the library and all that, so, is it unusual that people use the library?
No.
We got Miller, 3 cops, all right. Well, nice to meet you all. Sorry you got called on me.
Okay.
What was the exact suspicion? What I did is I came in, I walked around, looked around, I've never been here before.
Okay.
And then I
Where are you from? Well, stop. You haven't answered my question. What is your name?
Well, what's the crime? That's what we have to establish.
We have a report of a suspicious person matching you,
right.
Meaning that we have a reason to talk to you.
Right.
And right now I'm asking you what your name is, and if you don't provide me with some sort of identification, that is resisting an officer.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
So
I'm going to ask you one more time.
How are you going to go above my constitutional protections on this? Because there's no crime.
So that's how we're going to do this, okay? I want to know the name of police department.
Officer, is that a sergeant or is there any sergeant?
Sir, what is your name?
Hold on.
There's no crime.
Okay. So how about a suspicious person?
All right.
You'll fit in that description, okay?
Yeah.
That's fine with me. You've been recorded too, but you'll fit in that description.
You guys never give me your recording, so I get my own.
Well, it's a public record, so you can get it.
No, every time I've asked other cops, they
I'm
never
also
give
the
me
Mays
their
Police Department. They're called about a suspicious person. You'll mention their identity.
Yeah,
you'll
the
mention
green
the closing description.
Green
what is your
sweater.
name?
There's no crime.
Okay.
Okay, let me set this down.
Fourth floor.
Bye, Travis.
Right. Well, you're not going to get Travis. Yeah, I just.
Bye, Travis. All right. This is why I'm here, really, in the law library. Because Travis went to court. Travis went to court. And I have the transcript. And it's really, really a lot of fun to read. And this is why I'm in the law library, because this is where all my law is. All my law books. I go right over there and research anything, right? So I'm going to show you this. Travis is going to show you all of the motions that he has filed up to this point. Plaintiff, defense, motion after motion after motion after motion. All right. So all the motions have been filed, and he went to court. Motion to discover, motion, here, I'll put it back up. Motion to permit media in the courtroom. Motion to set matters for arraignment. Motion to compel discovery by Travis. Motion to quash by Travis. Motion to discovery by the defendant, Travis, and inspection. I mean, Travis is laying it on him. Travis is laying it on him. So he went to court. Travis went to court, and it's lovely. I'm all foobarred up here, man. Maybe I can just see how it makes it worse. Okay. All right. But anyhow. Yes, I know. Good. Everybody's familiar, right? Everybody's familiar with Travis Hines and his case. Good. Because I want to go over some things. Let's start that over. Okay. This is Travis Hines, the state versus Travis Hines. The very first, this is a motions hearing. This is a motions hearing. This is not a hearing of anything other than motions. You know, they sent this motion, I sent this motion, I want my discovery, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. I'll start it over so you got everybody, who everybody is. Okay. The judge is in blue, the prosecutor is in red, and Travis is in white. Right? So here we go. Okay, we'll start off here. Okay. Okay, he's talking about motion to dismiss, and this is the prosecutor, that he clearly squared, and if you blah, 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 blah. This is all bullshit. I want to get to the juicy part. Okay, what the prosecutor's saying to Travis is that it's too early. The prosecutor is in essence saying it's too early to file for a motion to dismiss because the arraignment hasn't even happened yet. How can a judge determine any motions prior to any discovery, prior to any testimony in front of them? And that Travis Hines' motion to dismiss is procedural error. And that's what the prosecutor's saying. Okay. He says a whole bunch of other things, and the judge agrees with him. Okay. Here's the judge. Another thing I wanted to show you. The judge chimes in with Terry stops. Terry, State of Ohio versus the Supreme Court. Okay. The judge throws in, I do believe the prosecutor has, the judge has affidavits, arrest affidavits, or they call them something different in Louisiana. So the judge does have some information. He could read the arrest reports. So I'm assuming that the prosecutor and the judge are aware that a Terry frisk was done. So the judge brings up in the trial this Terry frisk. And it's interesting what the judge says. Okay, I'll just tell you what he said, because the juicy stuff comes in here in a little bit. And I want to get down to the bottom of it. They're arguing the Terry stop. And they both agree that the police officer has a right to come up with probable cause of a crime being committed, for them to come up, not for their safety, but simply come up and frisk you. Okay? They acknowledge, both the judge and the prosecutor here, the judge in blue, the prosecutor in red, both agree that the Terry stop is a police officer could come up with reasonable, articulable suspicion and to arrest a probable cause, to detain and then arrest. So they're saying, yes, we understand Terry. Terry's just, everybody knows Terry. They're saying, everybody knows Terry. So let's move down. This is the transcript and the Travis Hines. See, the judge and the prosecutor go on and on and on. And it gets to the point where Travis chimes in with this. This is the first time Travis has spoken. He says, and they're talking about discovery. Travis is getting his discovery at this motion hearing on a CD. And Travis is like, well, I don't have a way to play that. I don't have a way to get the information off a CD. My laptop doesn't have a CD player. I go to the library. Most of the time, they don't have a CD player. So I cannot use this CD. Do you have another way to send me this information? I got a thumb drive right here. I got a thumb drive. Can I give you my thumb drive and you could transfer it? Just here's my thumb drive. Here's my thumb drive, right? So, watch this. Here it comes. I'll get to it. It's a little bit further down. Oh, there it is. He says, preview Terry versus Ohio, which everybody's familiar with. Okay. Now, here's the attorney agreeing with the judge earlier on for referencing Terry versus Ohio. So the judge and the prosecutor are having this little banter back and forth. And I'm telling you, when it gets to Travis Hines saying the CD, I can't play this CD. It's coming. Wait for it. He gives case law, which I'll get into here in a second. Okay, the judge and the prosecutor. Again. Again, I'm trying to find a spot where it's coming. It's coming. Okay, here we go. I knew I would get there. I know I was slow getting there, but it's worth the wait. The prosecutor has been asked, can you get Travis this information in any other way? Maybe an email, a thumb drive? And here's what the prosecutor says. So, what you have for thumb drives, what I tell you, what you have. You have everything that I have, and you have the thumb drives. You have the police camera video. You have the reports. They are all indicated on the bill of particulars, and that's, I guess, the information, the arrest warrant and all that, all about the arrest. If you look at that, but you have several of those. Now, let me play. So I'm not required to print them out for you. To print them out, it's a lot of information. But the thumb drive you have an actual CD for which you could go ahead and review on any computer or any laptop anywhere. But that's the totality of what the state has. So you're going to take that CD and you're going to shove it up your butt to get the information off of it, the prosecutor says. Isn't that what you get? Isn't that what you get? Travis is saying the CD ain't going to work. But, I have this thumb drive. You can plug it in. No, that's too much information. Everything's on that CD. But you can email it to me. Okay, here we go. Travis says, I would like to have to see what the library has to offer for playing CDs. But usually they don't so the judge steps in and says, but is the CD different from a thumb drive? The prosecutor says, there's different information, I believe. And look, the gentleman's a very highly technically and smart guy. If he has the ability to put things all over the internet and to reproduce things and to put them all over YouTube, then certainly he has the ability to run a CD. So I'm not going to give you that. I'm not going to take that from you. Right? So the prosecutor's like, I ain't going to take the thumb drive from you, and I'm not going to take, no. So the judge says, if he doesn't have the ability, Mr. Benjamin, I would want him to have some. So if he doesn't have the ability, again, he's going to find out using the public library if he can access the CD. I'm sure he can access a thumb drive through any computer. If you do not, you need to tell Mr. Benjamin you do not, and I'm ordering you to produce whatever documentation he tells Travis. I'm not going to say he should be able to. If you can't, you cannot. But I do believe if you use a public library computer, library will allow you access to a thumb drive. That I believe you can. So the judge is saying, yes, you could do even on a thumb drive. I know you could put a thumb drive in a computer. So, prosecutor, why can't you just do it on a thumb drive? He said that I believe you can get. I have no idea about CD technology, that if they allow that, but you understand what I'm saying. I'm ordering if you're satisfied with the discovery unless you can't. And if you physically can't, you need to tell Mr. Benjamin, he's talking to Travis, you can't, and I'm asking Mr. Benjamin to produce those documents. Okay? Because I want you to have everything he has. But again, this goes the other way. I'm ordering you to provide all the videos that you plan on using to Mr. Benjamin. Email is fine. Here's where it goes crazy. You can email, can't you? Travis said, yes, sir. So then you need to provide that to Mr. Benjamin, that I'm not going to cripple somebody because they can't do a certain thing a certain way. His way of accessing is, as long as he's providing the information, the method doesn't bother me. If he's saying he can't do it one way, then he has to do it another, as long as he gets the information. So I would suggest that you provide him with some sort of email or address that Mr. Hines or he can transfer those to. The prosecutor says this. He's welcome to bring it by the office. He can mail it, any of those things. And any of those things, the judge says, he's saying he can't. He's saying that the only access to email. Well, Judge, I'm not going to give him my email. I'm going to tell you why. He says, I'm going to tell you why. Because he bombards my telephone. Your people call. They curse our people out. Oh no, the horror. Travis's people are calling. No, not people calling. They talk and say all kinds of idiotic things. Why would I give you my email so that you can jam up our system? The judge says, well, I guess that's my next question. Is there an email that you can use that you can access the information that's not your personal or assistant's personal or anything like that? Yes, of course there is. Okay. Prosecutor says, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. If he can only send something by email, we'll figure out a way to get it. But I'm not giving him that because that's what he wants. And that's what he's been trying to do because everybody's kind of tired of it. These horrific callers. I'm not going to tiptoe around it. What they're doing, he curses our people out. He says he. Look, he says he. He curses our people out. His people curse our people out. Calls them all sorts of things that I can't even repeat here in the courtroom continuously. Getting people's home phone numbers. Oh, no, Travis, you dirty, rotten son of a bitch. You are responsible for everything. I saw a car accident the other day, Travis. You dirty, rotten son of a bitch. Yeah. Injuries, too. So you better watch out. You're responsible for everything that everybody does. Getting people's, let's be real. Just so I'm not going to let him lie to the point and try to hide behind a technicality when they are doing things that are just crazy. They're just doing things that are crazy, Your Honor, that any of these people out there did, and Your Honor, and they did that, and they did this, and they did that, Your Honor. Okay, are you aware of this, sir? Travis says, sir, I reach out and I don't get all that feedback. If there was evidence of this activity, I would, and the judge says, I know we received 25 faxes one day of the same statement. Okay. Earlier, the judge said that he didn't want to assume. The judge said that he did not want any information that the prosecutor was slinging because that's evidence, and this is a motion hearing. So, prosecutor, I'm going to strike what you just got done saying about evidence conflicting with my jurisprudence, I want to be clean of any information so we can carry this trial forward without me being censured, So I don't want any information, but I know that we received 25 faxes one day. Oh, really? And what did them faxes say? And who made you aware of these faxes? And who sends faxes anyhow? 25 people out there send faxes? We're talking about CD technology. Nobody uses faxes anymore, do they? So the judge is saying, well, yeah, we received 25 faxes one day. But anyhow, that's just me. Oh, Lord have mercy. He says, I know, this is the judge, I know we received dozens and dozens of faxes, just the statement that obviously is connected to your case. I'm not going to read it. He just said he wasn't going to read it. Okay, he just didn't read it. But he read it. Somebody told him about it. I hope he didn't read it, but hey, you never know. It doesn't matter. Because again, I don't want to unduly influence, but what I'm saying is I'm assuming there's some truth to what he's saying. I thought, assume just because you got 25 faxes, what did the faxes say? So, come on now. Only reason I suggest it is that you personally can use it, given him personal, and then they go back to the, okay. So the prosecutor says, yes, sir, I'll create a Google mailbox. It takes about 3 minutes. The judge said, okay, that sounds good. Everything good with you, Travis? Yeah, everything's good with me, Judge. He said, I can, and Travis throws in there at the end, hey, I can also stop off at your office, right? Travis says, we went through this whole entire thing about emails, the last freaking 20 minutes about emails and thumb drives and CDs. We go through all of this whole entire rigmarole about the discovery that you just gave me. And I don't have the capability of getting any information off that. Sorry. Can you get it on this thumb drive? Nope, can't do that. It's too much. Well, how about giving me your email? No. So you could dox me? Oh, no. But okay, I will start a Google email separate. It'll only take me 3 minutes, and Travis says, okay, I can just come over to your office, okay? That's funny. And isn't that classic Travis Hines? So everybody was good. Everybody loved the outcome except for Travis. Travis didn't like the outcome too much. Well, he did, but he didn't. It was just a whole bunch of bullshit. Okay, so let's move forward. This is Travis Hines. This is Travis Hines's after the trial instructions, I guess you could call it, right? So I wanted to highlight a couple things here. I'm going to let them go down. And I'm going to highlight some constitution or some case law. This is the prosecutor, okay? And the prosecutor, all right. Here's the first case law that the prosecutor is going to use to say that the arrest was justified. This one right here. Right here. Okay. State versus Boss. To justify an investigatory stop, an officer must have reasonable suspicion of criminal activity. You see that? I love this shit. I eat this shit up for lunch. Okay? Reasonable suspicion, which is something less than probable cause to arrest. So, you ask, do you ask? Please ask. What is state versus boss? Well, I'm going to show you what state versus boss is. All right. Let me get that over there so I could do this. There's Travis. There you go. State versus boss. This is state versus boss. And we're going to go over this real quickly because it's not that difficult. I'm going to blow this up a little bit. Yeah, you remember this. Now tell me if this does anything, if this has anything to do with it. Watch this arrest.
Yeah, I just came in. I mean, to use the library.
Watch this arrest.
So, I mean, is it unusual that people use a library?
No.
I mean, we got Miller, 3 cops. All right. Well, nice to meet y'all. Sorry you got called on me.
Okay.
I mean, what was the exact suspicion? I mean, what I did is I came in, I walked around, looked around, I'd never been here before.
Okay.
And then I.
Where are you from? Well, stop. You haven't answered my question. What is your name?
Well, what's the crime? That's what we have to establish.
We have a report of a suspicious person matching you, meaning that we have a reason to talk to you. And right now I'm asking you what your name is, and if you don't provide me with some sort of identification, that is resisting an officer.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
So
I'm going to ask you one more time.
How are you going to go above my constitutional protections on this because there's no crime.
So that's all we're gonna do is okay. Officer knows the name too, support.
Officer, is it like a sergeant or is there any sergeant?
Sir, what is your name?
Hold on.
There's no crime.
Okay. How about suspicious picture?
All right.
You'll fit in that description, okay?
Yeah.
That's fine with me. You being recorded too, but you'll fit in that description.
You guys
okay?
never give me your recording, so I get my own.
Well, it's a public record, so you can get it.
No, every time
So
I've
like I
asked other
said,
cops, they
I'm
never
also
give
the
me
Mays
their...
Police Department. We got called about a
videos.
suspicious person. You're matching that identity.
Yeah,
You're
the
matching
green-
the clothing description.
green
What is your
sweater.
name?
There's no crime.
Okay.
Okay, let me set this down. Let's go.
All right. Well, you're not going to get the
See you, Travis. Bye, Travis. All right. So let's compare. This right here is the prosecution comparing this case law to the Travis Hines arrest. Let's see if it matches up. On July 21st, 2003, Lieutenant Emily Larson received a phone call from an anonymous caller. Okay, Travis Hines, an anonymous caller, but actually from the library. So it wasn't really an anonymous caller that called the police on Travis, advising that the defendant was going to sell her wedding ring set to her sister for $2,000 and then obtain an illegal narcotic for her husband. The caller identified herself as a member of the defendant's family. The caller gave Lieutenant Larson the defendant's name and described her as a white female with brown hair and gave him the defendant's approximate height and weight. The caller also described the vehicle that the defendant would be driving as a gray Mercury Cougar. Roar, roar, Lion One. Roar. The caller advised that the ring transaction was going to take place at approximately 3:30 p.m. at the Whitney Bank on Jefferson Highway. She then advised that the defendant would obtain the drugs after the transaction. Lieutenant Larson's relayed this information to the detective, Richard Valley, who had been present in the room during the phone conversation between Lieutenant Larson and the caller, the sister. Detective Valley proceeded to the Whitney Bank and set up surveillance. He observed, he didn't rush in, a car fitting the description given by the caller, the sister, pull into the parking lot, driven by the person matching the description given by the caller, the sister. Detective Valley immediately ran a check on the license plate and the vehicle and learned that it was registered to the defendant, Dylan Shea, the tribe. How are you doing, man? Detective Valley watched the defendant meet with another female in front of the bank. He observed the two engage. He observed, very key, very, very key. The two engaged in a short conversation and then depart in separate vehicles. Detective Valley initiated a moving surveillance. Did he rush right in? No. Did he bust in and arrest them all? No. Did he ask for any ID? Nope. He set up surveillance of the defendants, followed her to 1804 or 04 South Clearview Parkway when she picked up a white male. Yes, we've got to find more of the conspiracy before we arrest. Now it's a conspiracy to commit a crime. We're going to have a lot of evidence. Yes, we're going to have a lot of evidence to show the prosecution the transaction. Evidence. Spying, watching. Matched with hearsay. She picked up a white male, later identified as Robert Perry. He followed the defendant to the 6600 block of Kewanee Avenue, where she dropped off Perry, who went inside an address on Kewanee. Detective Valley observed the defendant circle the neighborhood for approximately 5 minutes, Creole. 5 whole minutes that fucking cop watched that fucker circle the whole entire block. Round and around and around they go. Thank you, The Tribe. That is a really good song. That is a really good song. It is heart-wrenching. Okay. Are we hearing any similarities so far? Is anybody hearing any similarities to the Travis Hines case? This is the prosecution's first #1 case law to make that man guilty of a crime. 90 days in jail, probably more. $1,000 fine, Travis Hines. This is the case law that's going to put your ass in jail, the prosecutor. I would love to be the prosecutor with this one, right? Okay. Again, thank you very much, The Tribe. That's awesome of you. Okay. Watched them circle the neighborhood approximately for 5 minutes. Perry, before picking Perry up and driving back to 1804 South Clairville Parkway. Once the defendant returned to 1804 South Clairville Parkway, Detective Valley stopped her and had advised her of the investigation. I should play the audio, Colin. Let me see if I can look it up. Ooh. Well, let's get done with this first. We all know it was a call. The library ladies called in. It was an anonymous call. The ladies called, the librarian ladies. At least it wasn't that dude that flipped the fuck out, Do you remember that? With Mexican long hair, I think. The dude flipped the fuck out at the library. You're filming children! Threw his water bottle, flipped over a chair. I was like, damn, dude. You need to smoke some dope. Oh, speaking of dope, it is 4:20 in Peg's Place in Australia right now. Oh, man. All right. I should play the audio, but we don't need to because we understand he was arrested and the prosecutor. Yeah, that was a genuine meltdown. Okay. So let's continue. This ends real quick. He advised the defendant on her rights and interviewed her. Do you see? He advised the defendant of her rights and interviewed her. The defendant initially denied having any illegal narcotics. However, when Detective Valley asked her if she would mind turning her pockets, the defendant removed 17 tablets of hydrocodone. Yes, ding, 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 ding. Dropped the bomb on Travis Hines. Did he have hydrocodone in his pockets? Oh my goodness, I'll tell you why. Travis Hines, listen to me very well. Not only is it 4:20, Too Tall Rob live, not only is it 4:20 in Peg's Place in Australia, but Travis Hines was caught with some tablets somewhere, as I surmise. So, Travis, hear me out, brother. I read in one of your, and I've read it extensively. I've researched your case. I'm not doing this for you, brother, and I do love you. But whenever I see some slimy little fucking pinhead prosecutor throw case law down, I can't resist but to research it and go, oh gosh, right? He's throwing this particular case up. He's throwing this particular case up because somewhere, somehow, in your documentation, they must have found some pills that you were prescribed legally, but they were not kept in the proper bottle. So, Travis Hines, listen to me, brother, while we all take another 420 moment. Okay. While we take another 420 moment, Travis, brother, do you see where I'm going here? You see where I'm going? They found drugs on this person, illegal drugs, but drugs nonetheless in the proper illegal. I mean, it could be in a pill box. And you seem like a pretty organized guy, Travis. So I would imagine if you're on medication, and I don't want to know, that you would have it organized in a pill box. And not only that, you would probably have the prescription bottle with it too. And I'm sure you did. But these dirty, rotten fuckers, they'll use anything against you. Anything. That's why they brought this case law up. Not only that, again, there was a large investigation. It isn't like this was the same.
Yeah, I just came in. I mean,
where's the investigation?
Use a library and all that, so. I mean, is it unusual that people use a library?
No.
I mean, we got Miller, 3 cops. All right. Well, nice to meet y'all. Sorry you got called on me.
Did they follow him around the block,
I mean,
around the
exact,
store or the
suspicion?
library?
What I did is I came in, I walked around, looked around. I've never been here before.
Yeah. Did the cops follow you around, Travis?
Stop. You haven't answered my question. What is your name?
Did the cops follow you around for 5 minutes in the library to ascertain through their experience, through their knowledge,
Provide me with some sort of identification that is resisting an
follow you around and discern whether you were about to commit a crime?
My constitutional protection.
Did they look at video showing you turning over a bookcase and doing anything disorderly, yelling, hollering, screaming? No, they didn't do any of it. All around Big Josh's pork.
I get my own.
Well, it's a public record, so you can use it.
No, every time
So
I've
like
been,
I
still
said,
the cops. They
I'm
never
also
give
the
me
Mayor's
their.
Police Department. They're called about a
videos.
suspicious person. You're matching their identity.
Yeah,
You're
the
matching
green-
the closing description.
Green
What is your
sweater.
name?
There's no crime.
Okay.
Okay, let me set this down.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
All right. Well.
All right, here we go. Did this case at all conform with that arrest? Give me a 1 if you believe the prosecutor has a winning case with State versus Boss. This is the Supreme Court of Louisiana. Give me a 1 if you think the DA or the prosecutor has a case based upon this case, Supreme Court case, state Supreme Court, state versus boss. We just got done reading it. She was going to sell a wedding ring, to somebody to buy some drugs, oxycodone. The cop followed her around, watched her drive around the block 5 minutes, followed her home, watched her drop the dude off, go pick it up, then fucking followed her home, and then fucking walked up to her and said, hey, you are being detained for this crime. I know that you, from the call, my reasonable knowledge as a police officer can deduce, in my years of experience, can deduce from what the caller said, your sister said, that yes, you now are committing a crime and I'm detaining you. And before I ask you any questions, here are your rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used in a court of law. You have a right to have an attorney present. Did they do any of that with Travis? Because that's what they did here. Didn't they? So did they do... Okay. So here we go. Let's go to this other one. It gets better for the prosecutor, though. It really does. It really does. Because the next case we're going to look at that the prosecutor says is a winner. A wiener. The prosecutor McDickerson or something like that. McDickerson, I think his name is. Looky down here. State versus Chauvin. That prosecutor got another one, man. He got another one right here. Look at it. Now let's do something. Will we? Shall we? Shall we do something? Please, let's do something. Let's do this. Let's do this. Oh, I gotta go here. And let's minimize that and let's go state versus Chauvin. Okay. Remember, let's compare.
Yeah, I just came in. I mean, all that, so. I mean, is it unusual that people use a library?
No.
I mean, we got Miller.
Let's compare.
All right. Well, nice to meet y'all. Sorry you got called on me.
Okay.
I mean, what was the exact suspicion? I mean, what I did is I came in, I walked around, looked around, I'd never been here before.
Okay.
And then I.
Where are you from? Well, you haven't stop. You haven't answered my question. What is your name?
Well, what's the crime? That's what we have to establish.
We have a report of a suspicious person matching
Okay.
you,
Right.
meaning that we have a reason to talk to you.
Right.
And right now I'm asking you what your name is. And if you don't provide me with some sort of identification,
Yeah.
that is resisting an officer.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
So
I'm going to ask you one more time.
How are you going to go above my constitutional protections on this? Because there's no crime.
So that's all we're gonna do is okay. Also know the name police department.
Officer, is that sergeant or is there any sergeant?
Sir, what is your name?
Hold on.
Hold on.
There's no crime.
Okay. So how about a suspicious person?
All right.
You'll fit in that description, okay?
Yeah.
That's fine with me. You being recorded too, but you'll fit in that description.
You guys
okay?
never give me your recording, so I get my own.
Well, it's a public record, so you can get it.
No, every time
So
I've
like I
asked other
said,
cops, they
I'm
never
also
give
the
me
Mayor's
their.
Police Department that call
their
about a
videos.
suspicious person. You're matching their identity.
Yeah,
You're
the
matching
green-
the clothing description.
Green
What is your
sweater.
name?
There's no crime.
Okay.
Okay, let me set this down.
Fourth floor.
Let's go.
All right.
See you, Travis. Bye, buddy. See you, Travis. Bye. See you later. All right, let's do it. Chauvin versus State, the next whopper that the prosecutor's going to get them with. Here we go. Supreme Court. There we go. Facts. Here are the facts, ladies and gentlemen. The supervisor of the City of Kenner Police Department Narcotics Section, Huth, testified that on July 28, 2004, he was working a narcotics operation while parked in a lot at 2401 Veterans Boulevard in Kenner. This location contains a pain management center or clinic and pharmacy. Sergeant Huth testified that the narcotics unit received complaints of a narcotics use and sale from business owner of that complex. So, Huth got a phone call that said the owner of that drugstore was selling drugs. Selling drugs. Hello? The drugstore is selling drugs. Come on, use the emergency number for a legitimate reason, okay? Would you? No, really. The drugstore is selling drugs illegally. That's what the caller says. What does that have to do with Travis Hines? Don't know. Let's find out. Okay, here we go. Crimes have taken place at that complex involving individuals who came to the pharmacy to pick up pills and then to sell the pills in the parking lot. Sergeant Huth testified that there have been other related crimes at the complex involving weapons and many arrests. On the day in question, he observed Shane Chauvin, whom he identified in court as the defendant, racing around, running around and around and around, racing around the second floor of the parking lot, approaching patrons of the business and handing them an object. Handing them objects. I wonder what them objects are. He decided to investigate the defendant because his actions were extremely suspicious and his loud behavior in quotations, was alarming the people he approached. Sergeant Huth continued to observe the defendant for 8 or 9 minutes, watching him running around like a chicken with his head cut off, like Dave Chappelle on crack. Where the crack at? Where the crack at? Where the crack at? Okay. He observed them running around like a crackhead for about 8 or 10 minutes, 8 or 9 minutes, as he approached people. During this time, Sergeant Huth had 2 employees of the business approach him and point out the defendant. Eyewitnesses. No, there is nothing better other than a police eyewitness than an eyewitness that comes up to the scene of a police officer and says, yep, that's the motherfucker. We did that with Blonde Justice. I said, hey, yeah, them are the motherfuckers. Blonde Justice said, hey, yeah, even though I can't see, I can hear. Them motherfuckers the one that did that one right there is did it. Same thing, but different. Here we go. Had 2 employees of the business approach him and point out the defendant. These employees informed him that the defendant's actions were causing alarm to them, as well as the business patrons. Sergeant Huth approached the defendant and informed him that he felt, that he felt his actions were extremely suspicious. Okay, now the police officer had 2 witnesses, a phone call, observed for almost 10 minutes. And what's the first thing he says? You're acting suspicious. He didn't say you're acting criminally right up front. What the fuck does this have to do with Travis Hines? Does it sound anyways familiar to Travis Hines' case? Okay, we continue. The defendant was extremely excitable or jumping back and forth. Was Travis Hines jumping back and forth? He talked to the defendant, who he described as loud, excited, and boisterous. Boisterous and boisterous. It all goes in the same Does that sound like Travis Hines? I think that sounds just like Travis Hines. Okay, do we want to hear more? Yes, because it's so short, like a mini book. That's why I love it. Sergeant Huth believed that the defendant's behaviors were caused by the influence of narcotics. Travis Hines, are you listening to me and your pills that were not in the bottle it was supposed to be in? They're going to justify everything with some form of prescription that you had a prescription for that you did not have in its proper place. Now, that's what I'm getting from this. Because they sure to hell do know that none of this matches closely with your case at all. Both cases so far the cops did the proper investigation. Thank you, Too Tall Rob Live. They did their due diligence, as they say. Man, it's tough blowing spit into this jug. You know what I'm going to do? Just because it's driving me fucking crazy. It's driving me nuts. This translucence thing, I got it way too much, so I have to change my filter, and I'm going to do it right now. Got worse. Okay. Okay, let's see if that works. That's better. Okay. Sorry about that, folks. I needed to take a break and water. I needed water anyhow. All right. Here we go. He was boisterous and excited and loud, Travis Hines was. Sergeant Huth believed that the defendant was on drugs. That sounds like Travis. Travis always sounds like he's on drugs. I mean, for real. He stammers and stutters, and he can't get the words out right, and it's just he's just such a stupid individual. He's on drugs. Would me stuttering and stammering be because I'm on drugs? Fuckers. All right. However, he claimed that he did not stop the defendant because of the nervous behavior. No, not the nervous behavior. According to Sergeant Heath, he investigated and found out that the object that the defendant was passing out were cards that could be used to obtain a discount at another Jefferson Parish pain management clinic. Later, Sergeant Huth admitted that when he observed the defendant approaching the patrons, he saw that the defendant was handing out cards. Huth conducted a Terry pat-down of the defendant. Initially, when asked if he conducted a Terry pat-down for his safety and the safety of others in the vicinity, Officer Huth replied that he conducted a Terry pat-down because a lot of people officers deal with around there have needles and other objects on them that could harm me or somebody else. But specifically me, he said, fucking pussy. It was all me. I'm terrified. Pussies. Okay. Later, Sergeant Who testified that the previously other individuals had pills, knives, and other weapons. Therefore, he conducted the pat-down for his safety and the public safety. The defendant was not handcuffed during the pat-down. Sergeant Huth testified that during the pat-down, he felt an object in the defendant's right pocket, and it was immediately apparent to him that it was possibly a joint. Oh no, not a terrible marijuana cigarette. Oh my Lord. Sergeant Huth immediately knew the object was a needle, knife, or other weapon when he patted the defendant down. Sergeant Huth admitted that when he removed the object, it was a marijuana, joint. Oh no, not the horrendous, terrible marijuana cigarette. Reefer madness. See? Right on time. I did it right on time. I did reefer madness. Exactly right. Rather, it was a folded or wrapped, oh no. Rather, it was a folded up or wrapped up dollar bill containing a piece of cellophane or plastic that contained a substance that was field tested positive for cocaine. Da-na-na-na. I ain't gonna do it. When questioned, Sergeant Huth testified that the initial thought that the dollar bill contained a marijuana joint. No, not the marijuana joint. It wasn't a cigarette. Nope, not a cigarette. Later, he agreed that he had encountered people who concealed narcotics and money and other objects. Sergeant Huth admitted that when he took the dollar bill out of the defendant's pocket, all he could see was the way it was folded. He did not know what was inside of the dollar bill after he removed it because he could not see anything. However, he knew the folded dollar bill was not a knife, gun, or other weapon. The defendant was placed under arrest for the narcotics violation. Sergeant Huth claimed that he could have arrested the defendant prior to the pat down on drug and discovery for disturbing the peace. He could have done it. He could have done it, High Pockets. He could have ran right over there and fucking demanded his ID, spun him around, threw him up against the fucking wall and searched him. He could have done it. He could have done it. But he waited. He investigated, saw suspicious activity. Look at that crazy marijuana, crazed, depraved individual throwing things into people's car. I got to go investigate. Does that have anything? No. Did that case, give me a one if that case, if the DA has a solid case, give me a 1. If he doesn't, give me a 2 on that one. Again, does that correlate, that case law correlate? And it is. I do believe that's, again, another state case law. I do believe that's another state case law. The judges panel, Marion, Edward Clarence. That's all. It might be circuit court. It might be. I'm sure it's. Okay. But anyhow, does that Smith versus Chauvin? Because remember, this right here is what the prosecutor is using. State versus Chauvin. I just went over State versus Chauvin. The crazy man in the parking lot running around with reefer madness. Okay. Reefer madness. Does that have anything to do with this?
Yeah, I just came in, to use the library and all that, so, is it unusual that people use a library?
No.
We got Miller, 3 cops.
Oh, the prosecutor got him on this one.
Nice to meet y'all. Sorry you got called on me.
Okay.
What was the exact suspicion?
You're running around crazy, Travis. You're a lunatic. You're a high on the marijuana.
Question. What is your name?
Well, what's the crime? That's what we have.
It's none of your business, officer. I'm high on the marijuana.
Meaning that we have a reason to talk to you. And right now I'm asking you what your name is. And if you don't provide me with some sort of identification, that is resisting an officer.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
So
I'm going to ask you one more time.
Sir, you're being too loud. Boisterous. Mister, you better shut your fucking mouth.
So that's how we're going to do this, okay?
You're acting up too much, Mr. Hines. Way too much.
Sir, what is your name?
Hold on.
Stop yelling, Mr. Hines. Would you control yourself? Be an adult. Be a human, or we're going to have to do some really bad things to you if you don't stop running around, Mr. Hines. Mr. Hines, I don't know your name, but I'm telling, I know who you are now, but Mr. Hines, I'm just telling you. Mr. Citizen, or whatever you want to call him. Yeah. We did a long investigation. The longest investigation our police department has ever done was this. The longest investigation, and the district attorney's on it. The prosecutor, McDickerson, or something like that, he is hard on the case. We're going to put this man in jail. 60, 90 days. Fine him $100 million. Did you see how out of control Travis was? Okay. But the prosecutor is not going to give up. No, no. Oh, no. Any good lawyer brings case law on his side to impress the judge. So let's see. Please, let's see. Maybe not. I don't know. Let's find out if anything changes. I'm going to fast forward that. Okay. Here's what I'm doing. I'm fast forwarding through this so I can get to the next particular case. There it is. Look how beautiful. Look how beautiful it is sticking out there. What an awesome reply to why the cops arrested this heathen, this drug addict. His name is Hines, Illinois versus Gates. An anonymous tip may provide probable cause for an arrest. Illinois versus Gates. This prosecutor is bringing out the heavy hitter. U.S. Supreme Court case law, 1983, or reasonable suspicion for an investigatory stop. Alabama versus White. Oh my. Both good. Both real good. So, let's see if this has anything to do with Travis Hines. Illinois versus Gates. United States Supreme Court. I'll blow this up a little bit. Excuse me. Here, I'm going to take this off. No, I'm going to leave it on because I'm going to do it one more time. And take a slurp. Oh, man. Remember the drugs. It's all about drugs, too. Isn't that funny? It's all about drugs. I mean, because we'll figure it out here in a second. I'll show you. Travis, if you had any loose pills, prepare for that. And it's 420 in Peg's place. It's 420 in Peg's place again. Boy, time flies, doesn't it? 1978, the police department of Bloomingdale, Illinois, received an anonymous letter which included statements that a respondent, husband and wife, were engaged in selling drugs, that the wife would drive their car to Florida on May 3rd to be loaded with drugs, and the husband would fly down in a few days to drive the car back, that the car's trunk would be loaded with drugs, and that respondents presently had over $100,000 worth of drugs in the basement. Acting on a tip, a police officer determined respondent's address and learned that the husband made a reservation on May 5th for a flight to Florida. Okay? What is that? What was that? What was that called? Hold on. Did I read it right? Okay. Acting on a tip, the police officer determined respondent's address. Sounds like an investigation to me. and learned that the husband had made a reservation on May 5th. Okay, now we're going to crack the case. Now we got a little bit more information to go on. It's starting to really come together. But how does this have to do with what does this have to do with what happened to Travis Hines in the library? I don't know, but let's find out. Me, page up. Arrangements for surveillance of the flight were made with an agent of the DEA, and the surveillance disclosed that the husband took the flight, stayed overnight in a motel room registered to his wife, and left the following morning with a woman in a car bearing an Illinois license plate issued to the husband, heading north on the interstate used by travelers to Bloomingdale area. A search warrant for respondent's resident and automobile was then obtained in the Illinois State Court. Right? This is an investigation, right? All right, here we go. Based on the Bloomingdale police officer affidavit setting forth the foregoing facts, and a copy of the anonymous letter. When a respondent arrived at their home, the police were waiting and discovered marijuana and other contraband in the respondent's trunk and their home. Prior to the respondent's trial on charge of violating state drug laws, the trial court ordered suppression of the items seized, blah, blah, fucking blah, blah, fucking blah. Okay. Okay, of course, the Supreme Court is going to say, yep, that's reasonable. They did the investigation. They got an anonymous letter. They did the proper investigation. They worked it down. They got other evidence, surveillance. Wait, hold on. What was the difference between that case? If you think that resembles anything that happened to Travis Hines, give me a 1. If not, give me a 2.
And all that, so I mean, is it unusual that people use a library?
No.
I mean, we got Miller, 3 cops.
Sir, we followed you.
Well, nice to meet y'all. Sorry you got called on me.
We saw you open up your trunk.
What was the exact suspicion? I mean,
we smelt the marijuana. We put surveillance on you.
Okay.
And then
where are you from? Well, stop. You haven't answered my question.
We had dogs.
Well, what's the crime?
Walk around your vehicle,
we have a report of a suspicious person matching you,
right.
Meaning that we have a reason to talk to you.
Right.
And right now I'm asking you what your name is, and if you don't provide me with some sort of identification, that is resisting an officer.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
We've done a very, very thorough investigation. We have videotape of you in the lobby.
There's no crime.
So that's all we're going to do is
Officer, is that a sergeant or is there any sergeant?
Sir, what is your name?
Hold on.
There's no crime.
We've been very thorough, sir. We don't need your damn permission because we got the evidence.
You guys never give me your recording, so I get my own.
Well, it's a public record, so you can get
No, every time I've asked other cops, they never give me their
police department. They're called about a suspicious person. You're matching their identity.
Yeah,
you're
the
matching
green
the clothing description.
Green
what is your
sweater.
name?
There's no crime.
Okay.
Sir, you are being arrested. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used in a court of law. You have a right to have an attorney present. Any relation? Is there any relation between what this douchebag, Illinois versus Gates, what the fuck does that have to do with Travis Hines, this out of control individual on the marijuana joint? We're going to have to go back to the horticulture room. For some reason, I have the craving for marijuana. You crazy son of a bitch, you Travis Hines. Can't keep hold of you, man. You and your drug fiended, tossing your shit all over the place like this, intimidating people. We watched you. We watched you every step of the way. That's why we don't need that little librarian over there to testify against you. Because where's your anonymous caller? They didn't have, the cops wrote that complaint. The cops were the complainant, not some little dinky librarian. So, officer, if you're going to arrest me, then maybe you should do it right. Right? Like, gather the evidence so you don't need her or her testimony as the caller, the anonymous source. Okay, let's go on, because this guy, this prosecutor, they really like it. They really, really like to just really throw this stupid shit at you. What's next? Oh, no. The prosecutor, look, another one. Okay, here we go. Or reasonable suspicion for an investigatory stop, Alabama versus White. Let's read what they have to say. If it accurately predicts future conduct in sufficient detail to support a reasonable belief that the informant had reliable information regarding the suspect's illegal activity. There's another one, State versus Smith. You see it? Okay. Here we go. He throws a lot into this, and Travis, my brother, my pro, say, brother, I know you got this down. You don't need my help. I'm just a fucking geek in a fucking bunkhole. I'm not trying to help you out in any way at all. I don't even know you, Travis. I admire you. I like you a lot. I think you're incredible. But I ain't doing this to help you. I'm doing this because I watch what you're doing. And I'm like, yeah, let's go. You go, boy, you go. Yeah. Go, boy, you go. Yeah. Go, boy. Go, boy. I love it. You catch them off the wall with these and I love it because I do the same thing kind of, but different. That's the great thing about us is you do it your way and you're so unique. Okay. So let's go ahead. We're referencing Alabama versus White, I think. Let me look. Was that White versus Whitney? Maybe I didn't research that one because it was the same. Let me look at the other. Let me look at the other case law that I got because there was one more. Here. Set my water down in front of my screen. Okay, they gave me Alabama versus White. And I don't know where I got that Morris from. Maybe it's further down. See, he's throwing all kind of case law. Smith versus White, State versus Smith, Alabama versus White, State versus Leonard. He's throwing all this case law, but it's bullshit. Okay. So what I got is I got one of them. Now watch me. Terry v. Ohio, Travis. All of them other cases are bullshit. The landmark case, 1968. Controversial case. I love my man out there in California who has this case as the number one reason why we live in a police state. And he has it on a chart. He has it on a chart. Whoop, straight up. I mean, whoop, straight up as soon as this case was passed. Amount of people in prison. Because the cops and everybody else misinterpret Terry versus Ohio. Always. It's not that it's necessarily bad case law. It's bad because it puts it in the minds of the police that they're allowed to frisk you at any time. And if you refuse, then that becomes interference and because of officer safety. Terry versus Ohio is the first case law, as I understand, that says that the police are allowed to reach to pat you down, not reach in your pockets. Everybody knows Terry versus Ohio, right? Two guys were outside of a store at night, casing back and forth, looking through the windows, back and forth, back and forth. The cops sat there for a while, 30 minutes, watching them, and they disappeared around the corner. The cop followed him, observed, did an investigation, through his reasonably deducing that there was a holdup, a crime that was about to be committed, a robbery. He went in for further investigation. He saw these two guys who were looking in the windows just minutes before, that he watched 30 minutes before. Walk back and forth, talk to each other. Well, and look in the window and then talk to each other. Look around the corner. You know, they were acting suspicious. This is Terry v. Ohio. So the cop sees him walk around the corner and he drives up there and he confronts these two guys who had met a third guy. Now we have a third guy involved. The cop, in essence, notices that they have bulges under their jacket. And no, Peg's Place, it wasn't their dick. It was weapons that he, as a seasoned officer, could deduce through the investigation that he had done, that he is in an immediate need to disarm them, because he believes, again, through his experience and his education, that his life is in jeopardy. So he turned them around and frisked them, found weapons. Case went to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court said, yep, you're allowed to do that because he had reasonable, articulable suspicion through investigation and through the knowledge of the police officer and his experience that he had probable cause to then arrest after he found the illegal weapons. So he was allowed to investigate, sit back and watch. He observed, investigated, saw suspicious behavior, further investigated. They met up with, these two met up with a third. He went in and threw them up against the wall and searched them for officer safety. The Supreme Court said that there was enough investigation to justify a warrantless search. And then a warrantless arrest based upon the peripheral search outside of the pockets, not inside. Terry does not say that you could reach in somebody's pocket. Terry does not say, and this is where they fucking get it wrong, the police and a lot of them do, it's a pat down. Because when you pat somebody down and you feel their gun in their pocket, you can pretty much deduce if you've ever handled a 38, something in the pocket would fit in the pocket, heavy, cylinder, gun barrel, trigger, just don't fucking pull. When you reach it in there, don't pull. Yep, that's a gun. See you later, Creole. I'm done. So Travis, does anybody think that Travis Hines, and again Travis, watch out for that drug charge, man. I noticed that they only mentioned it once. I don't know what's in your discovery, what they want from you. And I'm not sure if they could delve into your medical history to determine whether it's just suspicious to me. Okay. Now, I think, please, let it be there. No, it's not there. So I'm going to get out of here. Thank you very much for showing up. Another long show, Peg's Place, Dylan Shea. I don't even think anybody's left in here, but fuck it. I don't care. I'm going to the living room. I'm allowed to be that way. All right. Peg's Place, see you all around Pig's Asses Pork. Dylan Shea, I didn't see you come in here. Am I going to do the Blonde Justice case? I've been in High Pockets. Good citizen. I have Blonde Justice is a brother of mine. If I could help him in any way, I will. I've helped him out before. So, he's a brother of mine. That's all I could say. Anything I could do for Blonde Justice, I will. High Pockets, good citizen. Too Tall Rob. Wow. Creole. I know there was more in here. The Tribe come in good. HPR News and Lion One. Grunge Truck. Good to see you, Grunge Truck. Epic Freedom Movement. Good to see you. Crazy K. That's how you spell that. See, it's so simple if you just break it down every once in a while. Jesus. Crazy K. Crazy ick. I know. I just try to spell it all the way out. Dr. Sean Berry. We bootlickified him, I'm sure. Who else came in? Blind Justice? Yes, Blind Justice is probably still hanging around out there somewhere. Georgia Accountability Patrol and Trucker. Good to see you, brother. Sergeant Chucko, Semper Fidelis. Okay. Thank you very much. Done with my show. See you later. Good luck, Travis. Don't call me.